Let me guess. You've been trying to come up with a project topic for days, maybe even weeks, and somehow every idea you bring to your supervisor gets rejected. You stay up all night thinking, why is it so hard to pick just one topic? I've seen that frustration so many times. Some students even go as far as copying someone else's topic or choosing the first random idea they find online, only to regret it later when it becomes too difficult or irrelevant. The truth is, choosing a good research topic is one of the most important parts of the entire project, because if you get it wrong at this stage, every other chapter from your literature review to your data analysis becomes a struggle. But don't worry, in this video, I will show you how to choose a strong, supervisor-approved and realistic research topic that you actually enjoy working on, and by the end, you'll know exactly what to do, whether you are in a science or a non-science field. Let's break it down. The first step is to start with what genuinely interests you. This is very important because you are going to spend weeks or even months on this project, so it has to be something you are genuinely curious about. If you pick a topic you don't enjoy, you will lose motivation halfway through. So ask yourself, what part of my course do I naturally enjoy? Or what topic makes me want to read more without even being told? So instead of just focusing on a generic idea, start around your specific interest area. Let's start with non-science students. For example, accounting, business administration, and the likes. If you're an accounting student fascinated by fraud detection, don't force yourself to write about auditing standards. Start with an area like the role of forensic accounting in detecting financial irregularities. For science students, for instance, microbiology, biochemistry, and the likes, if you're a biochemistry student deeply interested in drug discovery, don't settle for a topic on general cell culture. Start with something around the antimicrobial effect of local plant extracts on common human pathogens. Finding that spark is the essential first step that keeps you going even when the research gets tough. The second step is to read recent studies and spot the gap. Now that you've chosen a topic area you genuinely enjoy, it is time to make sure your idea is fresh and relevant. The easiest way to do that is by checking what other researchers have already done and spotting what they haven't fully explored. Now that is what we'll call finding the research gap. All you have to do is to go online and search for recent studies published within the last 5 to 7 years that are related to your area of interest. But here is the trick. Don't just read everything word for word. Go straight to the conclusion or recommendation sections and look out for phrases like further research should focus on, or phrases like the study was limited by, or further studies could explore. So these are phrases that you should look out for, because that is where researchers literally point you to the next possible topic. Once you do this, you start seeing patterns in what hasn't been studied enough. That is the perfect place to build your topic, as it is specific, relevant, and publishable. For example, as a non-science student in accounting field, and your initial idea of interest is the role of forensic accounting in detecting financial irregularities. After reviewing recent studies, you notice most papers focus on forensic accounting in large corporations, but one article concludes with, future research should examine how forensic accounting techniques are applied in small and medium-sized enterprises. Or perhaps you notice that most existing studies focus on countries such as the United States, Pakistan, or Ghana, or they examine Nigeria as a whole. However, there is limited research on smaller segments within the country, for instance, Lagos State. That gap is a geographical focus and can also form the basis of a strong research topic. Now that is your gap. So you can refine your topic to something like the role of forensic accounting in detecting financial irregularities among small and medium-sized enterprises in Lagos. See how that makes your topic more specific and original. So you are not just repeating what others did, you are building on what is missing. Let's also take, for example, a science student in biochemistry field, and your initial idea of interest is the antimicrobial effect of local plant extracts on common human pathogens. But after checking recent studies, you find that most studies focused on antibacterial activity of leaf extracts, but a recent paper concludes with further research should compare the antimicrobial properties of root and stem extract, which remains underexplored. Now that is the gap you can fill. You could refine your topic as comparative study of the antimicrobial effect of root and stem extract of selected medicinal plants on common human pathogens. That topic is still within your interest area, but now sharper, unique, and grounded in real research gaps. The third step is to narrow it down. This is where many students miss it, as they pick topics that are too broad. The goal is to make your topic clear, focused, and researchable. For example, a topic like the impact of social media on education is far too general. You have to narrow it down to something more specific, such as the impact of TikTok learning videos on the academic performance of secondary school students in Lagos State. See the difference? The second one focused on one platform, one effect, one location, making it more manageable and realistic to research. In the same way, the earlier example, the role of forensic accounting in detecting financial irregularities, sounds good, but it's still too broad. After reviewing research topics, then it can be refined to the role of forensic accounting in detecting financial irregularities among small and medium-sized enterprises in Lagos. So that's how you turn a general idea into a strong, focused research topic that your supervisor will likely approve. The fourth step is to make sure it is doable. A great topic isn't just exciting or interesting. It has to be realistic and achievable. Many students choose topics that sound impressive, but later discover that they can't find data, materials, or time to complete them. A good research topic should match your resources, skills, and access. So before you finalize your topic, ask yourself, can I really complete this study with the time, tools, and materials I have? So to make that easier, apply the 3-point feasibility filter, which is your checklist to know if your topic is truly doable. The first point is access. For non-science students, ask yourself if you can reach your target participants or collect enough survey or interview data before your deadline. For science students, ask yourself if you can access the library, equipment, reagents, or test samples required for your experiments. The second point is skill. Ask yourself if you already have or if you can quickly learn the tools, analysis method, or laboratory techniques needed to complete your research. The third point is costs. Ask yourself if the topic will fit within your available budget, including materials, software, transport, or lab expenses. If you have to say maybe or I am not sure to any of these questions, the topic needs to be simplified or adjusted. For example, a business administration student planning to collect data from 500 managers across Nigeria might struggle with time and access. Therefore, the topic needs to be narrowed down to one city or industry. Also, as a microbiology student who needs expensive lab equipment they don't have access to, might consider using more accessible method or locally available materials. Note that a strong topic is not about how complex it sounds. No. It is about how confidently you can complete it successfully. And lest I forget, I'm also going to share a very important bonus tips toward the end of the video, so please do well to watch to the end. The fifth step to choose a good research topic is to check for available materials. Now, before finalizing your topic, take time to confirm that there are enough existing materials to support your study. This includes textbooks, journal articles, conference papers, and previous projects. You can search through online academic databases such as Google Scholar, ResearchGate, and so on, or your university library to see how much has already been written about your topic. This step is very important because your chapter 2, which is your literature review, depends heavily on existing studies. So if there are few or no available research papers related to your topic, you will struggle to build a strong theoretical or empirical foundation. Many students get stuck here because they pick topics that sound unique, but realize too late that there is little or no existing literature to review. When that happens, two major problems follows. Firstly, you waste time searching endlessly for materials that don't exist or are difficult to access. Secondly, your work becomes weak and incomplete because your arguments will lack scholarly support and depth. So before locking in your topic, ensure there are enough quality research materials available. A good topic doesn't just sound interesting, it must also be researchable with credible sources that will help you justify your argument and complete your chapters confidently. The last step is to seek your supervisor's approval early. After shortlisting 2 to 3 solid ideas, take them to your supervisor. Supervisor love when you come prepared with researched options, not random ideas. It shows you are serious. If you follow these steps, then you won't have a problem picking a good research topic. Now let's talk about the bonus tip, which is how to build your research blueprint. I'm going to differentiate for science and non-science topics. This is something most people never explain clearly, yet it is one of the main reasons many students struggle to frame their topics correctly. The secret to making your topic sound professional and researchable lies in understanding a structure, and that structure depends on whether your field is science or non-science. For science students, if you are in fields like biology, chemistry, microbiology, engineering, and the likes, your topic should focus on studying, producing, characterizing, or optimizing. Now, this structure is what we call the process blueprint, and it consists of 4 parts. The first part is the subject, material or organism, and this means the sample or organism that is under investigation. For example, it could be the name of an organism such as Penicillium chrysogenum, or it could be soil sample, alloy or plant extracts. The second part is the process or activity, and this includes what you are doing to the sample or what you are doing with the sample, such as production, synthesis, isolation, optimization, extraction, purification, or characterization. The third part is measurement or outcome, and this means the property, response, or performance being assessed. For example, enzyme activity, antimicrobial effects, yield efficiency, conductivity, or thermal stability. The fourth part, although is optional, is the condition, and this means the environment or variable being modified or controlled. For example, pH, temperature, substrate concentration, or exposure time. For example, your research topic is production and characterization of ligninolytic enzyme from Penicillium chrysogenum. The Penicillium chrysogenum is your subject. Production and characterization is the process. Enzyme yield and activity is the outcome. So overall, the process blueprint emphasizes on what and how rather than who and where. For non-science students, if your field is in the arts, social sciences, or management sciences, your topic must examine the relationship between variables within a defined population and settings. This structure is called the variable blueprint, and it consists of 4 major parts. The first part is the independent variable, which is the cause or influencing factor. The second part is the dependent variable, which is the outcome or effect being measured. The third part is the study population, which is the group, organization, or sector being studied. And lastly is the location, which is the geographical or institutional boundary of your study. So as a non-science student, your research topic must follow the variable blueprint. For example, if your research topic is the impact of leadership style on employee performance in selected oil and gas companies in Lagos State, the independent variable will be leadership style. The dependent variable will be employee performance. The study population will be oil and gas companies, while the location will be Lagos State. Now, this structure immediately tells the reader what you are studying, what relationship you are testing, and where the study is being carried out. It also makes your topic specific, measurable, and researchable, which are the key requirements for a strong academic project. Understanding the distinction between science and non-science research topic structures prevents you from creating vague or unmanageable research ideas. Many students combine both patterns, which confuses experimental and social research formats. So recognizing your research type ensures your topic aligns with your field methodology, improves your supervisor's approval rate, and helps you locate relevant materials more easily. So here is the secret. A good research topic is not just about sounding intelligent. It is about being clear, focused, and relevant. It should be something you are genuinely interested in. It should be based on existing research gaps and practical enough for you to complete successfully. Now, I would love to hear from you. What stage are you currently in? Are you still searching for a topic, or has your supervisor rejected some ideas already? Please drop a comment below and share what course you're studying. And if you find this helpful, follow Mercy Research for more free tips that makes your project writing easier, because every student deserves to complete their research with confidence. Thanks for watching.